Hi bag builders, it's Diane from Spencer Ogg Sewing Patterns. Thank you for joining me. As usual, if you enjoyed today's tutorial, please do subscribe to the channel, ring the bell below to be notified of all my video tutorials going forward. So as we get in close to Christmas, I wanted to make something that was easy to make and ideal for gifting. My mind went into happy overdrive, coming up with all sorts of little ideas for gifting, and I developed so many I decided to make it into a free mini series of mini makes. So what is a bag buddy? Well, it's a cute little item that helps you organise all the clutter that you have in your bag. And if you're anything like me, there's an awful lot of clutter in the bottom of your bag. Make one bag buddy or make a few. Wrap them in tissue and pop them into one of the downloadable gift boxes that I've developed specifically for them. Perfect for gifting for Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, any days. They're just so chuffing cute. Who wouldn't want a couple of these? And they're just so easy to make. So who's up for a jolly fun sewing and crafting afternoon? Packed with little projects that are really easy to make. It's just about the fun. You don't need any previous skills. They're all totally beginner friendly and virtually instant results. I would apologise for the simplicity of some of them, but why? It's all really good fun and they're all so useful. So these are my little bag buddies, lots of quick mini projects, ideal for gifting. I'll be sharing 1 or 2 a week here on YouTube, so do subscribe and ring the bell to be notified as each one is released. Each bag buddy will have a printable pattern piece and a video tutorial. By the end, you'll have a whole range of little bag buddies. All you need is a tiny scrap of non-fraying fabric and the odd plastic snap for most of them. And just to make them into an even better gift, I've designed a range of free gift boxes for them for you to download along with the pattern. Different designs for different occasions. Print straight from your home printer onto card, cut them out, fold them into shape and personalise them with your own message. I'll release a different design every week along with a new bag buddy. And if you're looking for a specific occasion design that I've missed, just drop a message below and I can always add a new one in. The pattern pieces and the boxes are completely free to download from the files section on my Facebook group. For the link, just scroll down below to show more. It's in the text below the video. Print them off at 100% scale and check that your 1-inch square size checkbox does measure the 1 inch before you start cutting your fabric. If you're not sure about printing PDF patterns, then I do have a video to show you how to do that, and you can also to show you how to resize things if you want to, and I'll put the link in somewhere here hopefully, but there'll be a link in below as well. Print your gift boxes onto printable cardboard, which you can use in your home printer, and it makes them nice and sturdy. Just fold them up and away you go. I also use plastic snaps in a lot of these projects, in fact, all of them. So hopefully you've got some plastic snaps in your armoury. If you haven't, then the sets are widely available on Amazon and eBay and you can buy them quite cheaply. I'll put a link to the set that I used in the text below. And if you're not sure how to use them, I've also got a YouTube tutorial on that. Again, I'll put the link in below and maybe up here somewhere if I know how to. So just check down underneath the video where it says show more for all the different links. So what are we waiting for? Let's go sew! So this is the third of my Bag Buddies tutorials, which I'm releasing weekly. Today's Bag Buddies tutorial is for a handy lipstick case. This is a fun and easy project designed to fit 2 standard size lipsticks, 7 centimetres or 2 3/4 inches tall. So that's just the regular size we get on lipsticks. It fastens with a plastic snap, and I've angled the flap off to the side so that it snaps onto the side of the pouch rather than in the middle, trying to hit a centre point where there is no lipsticks in the middle, but I think it makes quite a nice design feature. You can make them in anything that doesn't fray, as we said with the other projects, so I've made one in vinyl there, one in cork, and that one's in leather. It works not just for lipsticks but also for hygiene products, memory sticks, those posh AirPods headphones that I don't own. I even took one out with me with the dog the other day with a couple of poo bags and a credit card in it, just in case I needed a drink while I was out. So make them in any size to fit, not just your lipsticks, but for so many things, and I'll give you more information at the end on how to resize them too. So let's go right ahead and cut one out. So download your paper pattern piece, check your inch square box size check measurement is correct. And as previously, it's important to cut accurately because they're such small items, so I'm going to cut them out just within a small margin of the outline and stick them onto my cork and then cut round that. And there's my pattern pieces ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my snap fastener to piece B. I'm not going to add it to piece A at the moment because that's the top of the flap, and I'm going to top stitch around the top of the flap, and it'll get in the way of my foot, so I'm just going to put that on at the end. So I'm just going to add it to piece B. So I'm going to grab my female part of my snap fastener, and there is a placement dot on the pattern piece, so if you just line up your pattern piece and push your pointy tool through. I've not got to call it a pointy tool anymore, I've been told off. I've got to start calling it the right thing, so it's a bradawl. So, made a hole for that. I'm going to flip that over and the cap goes through the back. Push that through, and then female part on top. Grab my pliers. Excuse the squeak before we start. Let's just apply that. So that's one side done. Now I want to draw a line on the reverse of piece B. So flip that over, and I want to draw a line 1/4 of an inch or 6 millimeters up from the bottom edge. So the bottom edge is the one you can see with the angled corners. So I'm going to measure that 1/4 inch dot. And draw a line across, and then I'll grab a couple of clips, get rid of my pattern pieces for now, and I'm going to lay pattern piece A right side up on top, so wrong sides facing each other, and you can see I'm just going to line it up against that line I've drawn 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, but I'm going to slide it across so it meets one side of piece B and clip it in place there. And then I want to attach this side of piece A to that side of piece B. So I'm just going to slide that across. So I still want it in line with that line I've drawn at the bottom, but I want to drag it across. So you can see it's still in line. There we go. So when you flip that over, you'll see that's how we achieve that bellow and the space to get the lipsticks in there. So now I'm going to stitch that with a 3mm or an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance along these two side seams. Now you can either just stitch the side seams, or you can stitch all the way around top to bottom to give you a decorative effect around the top of the flap as well, which is what I'm going to do today. But if you're not worried, if you're worried about your stitching and getting it very even and it not looking nice, then just don't worry about the top, just stitch the sides. So I've got a microtex needle on my machine, I've got my stitch length set to about 3, and I'm using a blind hemming foot, which I've mentioned in my previous videos to help you achieve a nice even width in your seam. Back stitch beginning and end every time. Trim up. And next we want to push that bottom bit up so that it matches and lines up with the bottom edge of piece A. So just get it central. You can see we're just pushing it up with our fingers. And again, that creates that nice bellow shape. And now I'm going to stitch along there again with a 3mm or an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance just along that bottom edge. Trim up again. And we're ready to put the male side of the snap on now. So, grab another cap and a male part. Of course, you can never find a male when you want one, can you? Is that one? There we go. Grab your paper pattern piece for the position and my bradawl, and I'm just going to place that back on there. You could do this right at the beginning, actually mark the position, that wouldn't be a problem. So again, you've got a positioning dot there, just make a hole through it. Yeah. And this time your cap is going on the right side of the fabric. Just pop that through there, flip it over, grab your pliers, squeaky pliers, and there we are. Let's grab our lipsticks, pop them in, fasten it up, and there we are, a really cute case ready to go. So you can trim the corners off if you wish. I quite like leaving them on actually, I quite like the look of it, but you can trim them off as I've done in this one, slightly different shape. I'll tell you how to do that afterwards, but you can see you can just trim the edges off so it has a more of a curved look, but I do quite like leaving the reverse on, but you can see the back of the fabric, so it depends what look you want. So once you get the hang of how it works, you can make them in all sorts of sizes to fit not just your lipsticks, but with so many different things. You could easily add an eyelet even and have it as a key ring, make it larger to hold a packet of tissues, or even big enough for a phone. So if you want to amend the size, that's easy to do too. You can just reduce the length of piece A, and that will give you a shorter pouch, because you've still got some room in there to be able to shorten that without it affecting piece B. Sort of 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, you can change that. If you want to make it more taller, add the same amount on to piece A and to piece B. So you could make it tall enough for a packet of tissues, say. So you might want to add 1 inch onto A and 1 inch onto B. If you want to make it wider, like this one here, all you need to do is add the same amount onto both pieces A and B, so maybe 1/2 inch onto each. And there is room to add your snap fasteners on at the end, so you don't need to add them at the beginning and worry about the calculations for that, just attach them at the end. So there you have another pretty little gift, really easy to make, really quick, great for Christmas, great for birthdays. I supplied a template for another gift box to download and print onto card at home, so I've done a thank you gift box this week. I've got another 2 already available, and there'll be another one next week. Let me know if I've missed anything off, I can always do an additional one. If you haven't made the box before, just check out episode 1 in the Bag Buddies series, and that shows you how to cut it out, mark it up and fold it up. So wrap your little cutie in tissue, pop it in the box, ready to give to a loved one. So I hope you enjoyed today's fun and easy tutorial. The Bag Buddies tutorials will be running weekly for the next few weeks, so please do subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when each one comes out. And don't forget to post your pictures on my bag making Facebook board. Do join the group, post your pictures, you know I love to see them. So what are you waiting for? Go sew!